policies shift between administrations, how do manufacturers adapt to that kind of uncertainty? Because, like as you said, I mean, this is you'll follow essentially when the
Got to
president.
follow the rules, right?
Absolutely, and when you have a president saying that they want to bring manufacturing back to the U.S., I think there are a lot of areas that is great,
That's exactly right. We're going to cheer
right?
that, right?
But that also is a very long term trajectory
Correct.
to try to bring back manufacturing
And
at
if you
that
think about
level.
an investment decision of billions, tens of billions of dollars
Right.
for a facility that's going to last 30 or 40 years and take anywhere from 5 to 7 years to actually construct from design
Right.
to ribbon cutting, you don't want to take chances that the policies, to your point, are going to change
Right.
midstream for you, right? And we do have a presidential election every 4 years, so the
Right.
possibility of change does occur. I'll
Hmm.
give you a good example of where we need that type of certainty and where we actually have some bipartisan support. And I'm very, very encouraged by this. And that is on permitting reform. Right now in the United States, it takes 80% longer to get a permit authorized for a project like a manufacturing facility than it does in any other free market economy. 80% longer. Well, doesn't make sense for a country that frankly does a lot of good things and does it right. So what we're seeing is we're seeing Democrats and Republicans and the White House rally around this effort to reform our permitting process to make it more predictable,
Hmm.
um, take away the duplicity and the duplication, shorten the time that legal challenges can occur, and just give more predictability to companies that are trying to do the right thing.
As you bring up permitting, from what I understand from your new report, the delays are costing manufacturers about $8 billion a year.
And that's just the delays. So that's not even including the cost of actually working to get the permit in the first place, which we're not arguing with,
Right.
right? But $8 billion of costs that are associated specifically for delays, that seems to be a bit of waste that
Yep,
we should be able to get out of the system. And we
for
could do
sure.
that with a permitting reform bill.
I want to make sure that for people that aren't necessarily within this industry, but obviously this industry affects many, as you mentioned, just here in Texas, million people, and looking at our workforce. Just high level, when we talk about permitting within manufacturing, what does that mean so our listeners understand?
So what it means is you're not going to have these wild swings between administrations or between even different agency heads that might be appointed during an administration. It gives some certainty also to the state level regulators. So in Texas, the permitting process is pretty streamlined, but you add on top of that the Clean Water Act,
Hmm.
the um, the the air quality
Hmm.
regulations that we have, the NEPA process, the Army Corps of Engineers, all of those processes take place that and take a lot of time. If you think about the previous administration and the pause on LNG exports, those were things that were already permitted; they were ready to go, right? So that was an action that could have been avoided if you had consistency in the permitting process. There have been energy projects in this administration
Right.
where the plug has been pulled. That might have not happened if you had that consistency in the process. Look, we understand that priorities change, policy priorities change from administration to administration. But once a decision has been made and
Hmm.
frankly, a promise has been made to a business that is spending billions of dollars,
Hmm.
that promise needs to be kept. Sanctity of contracts, the durability of permits is a foundational value of our American capitalistic free market system. And it's what's allowed us to succeed for decades and surpass the rest of the world in terms of providing economic opportunity for the people who reside here. So we want to kind of get back to that predictability, that common sense, and I
Right.
think this bill will do that.